You guys excuse me. As you can see, I am pretty much in my pajamas. Got my little do-rag on. And look, on the internet, you might see these pretty, beautiful models and stuff, but in real life, this is how we all look, so don't judge me. I am just here to give you a banging review. Let's go ahead and get to that theme song.
Yeah, I'm living my best life. Made a couple M's, you know. Said I'm living my best life. Said I'm living my best life.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Random Opinions, Reaction, and Reviews. If you don't know who I am by now, you gotta get with the program. I am coming to you today to do a review on the episode that just aired today on General Hospital. And today is July 1st, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. You guys, I have been gone for a while. And I know I keep on doing this to you, but I think I owe you guys an explanation. So remember a while back I told you that my boyfriend tore his patellar tendon. He had surgery a few weeks back, so I just been doing things with him and stuff that he would normally do. I'm doing, like I'm taking care of, you know, a lot of stuff. So that's why I've been gone, just making sure tending to him and not like leaving him to go do a video or something like that. So he's been very understanding. We started off with scenes with Jason and Sam. They were so beautiful. They were absolutely, positively beautiful. Like, I know some people say that Jason and Sam pretty much, they don't, you know, do it for them like the old Jason and Sam used to back in the day before Steve Burton left. I don't care what nobody says. These two people have chemistry. Kelly looked great. She didn't have on any makeup. She still looked great. Her body was slamming. She looked great in those gray leggings, you guys, by the way. Like, Kelly is awesome. I freaking love Kelly. Steve looked very comfortable in his gray joggers. Like, they were just beautiful, and they didn't have to try hard, you guys. Sam and Jason, they just do it for me. I feel like they are just it. They are the it couple, the couple that everybody strives to be in modern day. You know, years ago it used to be everybody wanted to be the Luke and Laura of General Hospital. Now we have the Jason and Sam. They're perfect, you guys. The scenes with them today, you guys, they were pretty much, this was after Sam had to come and be the getaway driver for Jason and Michael while they were in Beecher's Corners. And, you know, she drove away and they went to a safe house and spent the night. You guys, they looked so comfortable. They greeted each other with a kiss, waking up in the morning. They ate breakfast together. They didn't have any kids, nothing to worry about. And they start talking about how they love being fugitives because it brings them back to that safe house where they truly do feel safe and they feel at peace and they feel like one with each other. And, you know, Sam pretty much gonna ask Jason, what were you thinking going down to Beecher's Corners, getting arrested? You know, this is what Jason does. This is nothing new, Sam, and you know that yourself too, boo-boo. It was just so cute. Jason and her, it just reminded me of the real life Bonnie and Clyde. Remember back in 2009 when Jason and Sam went to Mexico to find Christina and Michael when they ran away? It reminded me of that when they rekindled their relationship. It was just beautiful, you guys. They get to talking and they put pieces together that Shiloh was gonna have Jason killed pretty much in jail. They also put together that the policeman that was handling Jason's arrest, which was completely unlawful. I don't even think he Mirandized him, you guys. That was one. He was gonna try to kill him. He's not taking his orders from the law. He's taking his orders from Shiloh, which is just so weird. Like, what is Shiloh doing for this guy that he's so willing to do all of this stuff for him, you know? What else didn't he do? He didn't let Jason get his one phone call. Like, this guy was just completely out of line, this police officer. You know, it just reminds me of a lot that's going on today in real life, how these police officers sometimes can be very, very crooked. And so they're talking, and basically Sam doesn't want Jason to go back to Beecher's Corners, but Jason wants to go back and pick up the eyewitness or the old Donna Day member so that she can corroborate the story of what they believe happened to Willow's father. And Sam's like, look, you can't go back up there again. Like, if they see you, they're going to try to kill you. And Jason's like, look, you can't go there either, because if somebody sees you, you can get hurt, kidnapped, who God knows what. And Sam's like, look, I'm the best person for this job. Have you forgotten, boo-boo? I was a con. I know exactly what I'm doing. But, you know, Jason loves his woman. He don't want to see her in no trouble, you know. So they're trying to figure out how they can bring Shiloh down, in other words. So those scenes were lovely today. Like, I always enjoy seeing Jason and Sam. I feel like a General Hospital episode is not an episode without Jason and Sam. They add that adventure that we're missing. You know, we had scenes today with Michael, Brad, and Wiley. Michael shows up. He was picking up some food from Charlie's, and he sees Brad and Wiley. And he's pretty much assuring Wiley and Brad that he's going to do all he can to protect them and to keep Wiley and Brad in Lucas's custody. You know, that is his godson that he know of. Now, we all know that Wiley is actually Michael's son. He is actually Jonah. I feel like they've delayed this storyline so long, and to make it even worse, we've just now started to get major scenes with Lucas and Brad and Shiloh and Michael. You know, we've just now started to get those major scenes. At first, we'd go weeks without seeing Jonah or Wiley or whoever. We'd go weeks without seeing Lucas and Brad. And I don't want to criticize General Hospital too much and the writers, but I hate when characters go missing for long periods of time and then they just pop back up again like they were never gone. Like, I like to see, you know, 1 or 2 days is okay without seeing a character, but them being gone for weeks at a time and months without no explanation and then they pop back up into the screen, it's just so weird to me. Baby Wiley being Jonah in Lucas's and Brad's custody, we didn't get to see that storyline play out too much before our eyes. It was just one day they were there, the next couple weeks they weren't. One day they were there, the next couple weeks they weren't. I don't know. Have you guys noticed that? Is that like a concern that you guys have? How do you like the way that GH is writing different storylines? Do you agree with me that you would have liked to have seen more of this storyline play out than what it did? You know, I feel like the writers are trying to, you know, pretty much wrap this storyline up. So now we're getting to see baby Wiley / Jonah every day. We're getting to see Michael every day. We're getting to see Lucas and Brad nearly every day. So I'm excited about that. I just wish we could have seen more of them early on in this storyline so that we could have become invested. You know, I feel like a lot of us have forgotten that Michael was a grieving father. You know what I'm saying? Because they just didn't play this storyline out in front of our eyes like a major storyline. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. I guess I'm not saying it right, but you guys let me know how you feel. And I'm just thinking, with Michael being as nice as he is and completely generous, that Brad is a complete a-hole. He is a complete A-word. Michael is so selfless and giving, and to be treated the way he's been treated by multiple characters on this show is just crazy to me. You know, we have Nell. Nell did Michael so bogus, and in the end she even tried to kill him. Brad, like, Michael's going out of his way to make sure Wiley stays in their custody, and he's seeing this man every day struggle and grieve his son, and yet and still, you know, his son is alive and you won't tell him. Why, Brad? Are you that careless? You know, and I get that you're a father too, and you know, have become connected to this child, but you should have been completely honest from the get-go, Brad. Like, I'm not feeling that. I'm mad the way that they've done this, you know. That's it. All I could think of when I seen Brad was that he's a snake. A freaking snake, a serpent. He wants to talk to Julian to be able to get a passport so that he can leave town with Wiley and himself. I guess he's going to leave Lucas behind because Lucas was not down to basically kidnap the baby. So he still wanted to go through with it, but he ended up running into Shiloh instead. And Shiloh has a clue now. He believes that Wiley is his son. So he has to find a way to prove it. And he was talking to his lawyer, I believe, on the phone, and the lawyer was saying, okay, even though you have a suggestion of who it could be, you need to go ahead and find some type of proof, something that we can bring before the judge. And so he runs into Brad, and Brad is trying to leave, you guys. He doesn't want to hear anything that Shiloh is saying. And Shiloh is laying it on thick. He even tried to manipulate Brad, and it wasn't working. Brad is not trying to lose this child, but he knows it's going to come to an end eventually. He's going to have to tell the truth, because everything that's done in the dark, what happens, you guys? It comes to the light. So, you know, Brad is going to lose everything, and he knows it. That's why he's been having these anxiety attacks. He's been having somatic anxiety or somatic depression. That's basically when you having a bunch of anxiety and it starts to manifest itself into pain. So he's having stomach pains and all kinds of stuff because he's scared of losing his family. Shiloh tries to manipulate Brad by telling him that Lucas is very dangerous and that he and Wiley deserve better. He wants him to continue to come to classes, and Brad just like pretty much did what I wanted Brad to do a long time ago and read Shiloh a new one, you guys. Read him a complete new one. I mean, everything I wanted Brad to say to Shiloh before he did. Now it's too late, you know. It's too late, Brad. Like, Lucas pretty much from his rant yesterday gave it away. Everybody's been making mistakes. Everybody. Michael running into Wiley and, you know, promising him safety in the open. Willow ranting in front of the judge about having a baby and he will never get the baby. You know, everybody's making mistakes, but, you know, all these people, there's a crowd, a multitude of people that's trying to protect Wiley, and you mean everybody is failing against this one man? You mean to tell me everybody is fighting Shiloh and Shiloh is getting the best of them? Just one guy versus a multitude of people? Are you crazy? This is crazy. You know, Shiloh could definitely sense something was wrong with Brad, because Brad is just all over the place. So in the end, you know, after trying to leave multiple times from Shiloh, Brad leaves, and we see that Shiloh has the baby's binky. So this is what they're going to use to do a DNA test. Now, the good thing about this is when that DNA test comes back, you guys, it's going to say that Wiley isn't his blood, because we all know that Wiley is Jonah, and Jonah is Michael's son. So it's gonna say that he is not the father. So I don't know if he's going to try to falsify some results or what's gonna happen. I'm excited to see how this particular thing is gonna play out. I'm very excited to see how this DNA test is going to play out and what's gonna happen from there, because we all know that if he takes the DNA test, it's going to show that he's not the father. You know, so I'm excited to see what happens. Let me know in the comments below if you guys feel that same way, or if you're just over the storyline and not interested anymore. I would like to know. We have scenes today with Chase and Mac. You guys, I look so ugly. I'm so happy that Mac is the commissioner as of right now. I can only pray that he continues to be commissioner even after Jordan gets better, because Jordan is one of those characters that they can get rid of tomorrow and I wouldn't give a flying flipping care. Just being honest. I really like seeing Mac as commissioner. Mac is just so smart. He's so capable. He just knows what he's doing, you guys. Like, there's nothing that gets around on him. And the only reason why he wasn't able to lock Sonny and Jason up all those years was because Sonny and Jason just can't get locked up. They're invincible. The writers have made them invincible. So of course they were gonna like dim Mac down a little bit in order to help Jason and Sonny to continue to get off. Chase comes and he's feeding. He's like, Mac, I got you breakfast. Mac, I got you coffee. You know, and Mac's like, oh, Okay, so your girlfriend is Willow, right? So you obviously want to see her. Go see her. What? Why are you doing all of this pampering to me? Like, just go see her. I don't care. Just make sure you get your work done and bye. So, you know, as he's talking to Chase, then police officer Billie Price shows up, right? He's like, look, I arrested a fugitive by the name of Jason Morgan. He escaped. I'm coming here to Port Charles to get him. And Mac is like, look, I know who Jason is, but what did you arrest him for? And he's like, I arrested him for kidnapping. And he goes into this fictitious story he's made up in his head. And so Mac was like, asking him questions, and he's like, we believe that the fugitive was able to escape because of the person that we locked up and put in the jail cell next to him. And that person was Michael. We all know it was Michael. But they didn't have an ID on this guy. They didn't fingerprint him. They didn't do anything that they were supposed to do. You can tell they were crooked cops, and Max seen that from the get-go. And he's like, look, you can't even tell me this guy's name. I'm not finna help you. Like, you don't have any evidence. And while he's talking to Mac, Michael shows up. I'm like, oh my God, Michael, you have such horrible timing. So he shows up about to talk to Chase, and the guy is like, if I seen him, I'll know who he is. And then Michael shows up, and he's like, that was the guy. So then Michael's all professional. Michael ain't buying it. He like, what's going on? Like, he acting like he's so confused. And the guy is like, you helped Jason Morgan escape, you know, blah, 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 blah. And Michael's like, I have no clue what you're talking about. And then, you know, the guy threatens to call the FBI and get the FBI involved. And Mac was like, look, call the FBI. This is Michael Corinthos. He is one of our best citizens. He owns the ELQ, da 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 da. Like, if you feel like you need to get the FBI involved, get the FBI involved. But I'm not giving you any information. I'm not arresting anybody because, one, you're outside of your jurisdiction, and two, you don't have any evidence whatsoever, and three, you didn't do your job. You didn't do your job right, because if you did, you would have fingerprinted him. You would have got a mugshot on him, and they wouldn't have escaped. He botched the job. He botched it. And so the guy is mad, you know, and Chase steps up and it was like, look, it couldn't have been him because he was with me all last night until midnight. We was at Volanino's, and the police officer is like, well, how late is Volanino's open? And Michael's like, my father owns Volanino's. Like, I have a key, you know, we were there. And so the police officer was pretty pissed, but he went about his way. And then Mac is like, look, tell me what's going on. So Michael tells him everything that's going on with Willow and Shiloh, and the woman coming forward and professing that she didn't have anything to do with drugging Willow's father, and rah, 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 and so on and so on, this, that, and that. And Mac was pretty much upset with Chase that he gave a false alibi. And he told him, look, you have one strike and one strike only. That's it. No more. You know, because you're getting in too deep with this woman, and I know that's your girlfriend. You're trying to protect her, but you were completely out of line for lying to me. Chase knows, don't do that again. If he does, he gonna lose his job. And I know Chase doesn't want to lose his job. You know, he's already almost lost his job for one woman, Nell. And it took everything for him to get back on and get back on track. And he was able to do that now. And it would just suck if he jeopardized his job for another woman, and then eventually they end up breaking up and she leave him for Michael. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what stuff happens. That's the kind of stuff that happens. We have scenes with Robert and Laura. Robert and Laura were catching up, and Laura wants him to help find Dante. Not just find him. She knows that he knows where Dante is, but he's not telling. And he basically told her, look, I can't tell you. Dante needs to stay there. He needs to get the help that he needs. He has PTSD. So she's like, you know what, I understand it, but eventually he'll have to come home, face his family, and him being home might help him, you know. And so they get off of that, and then Robert ends up mentioning that he had 3 years of law school before he got in with the WSB. And, you know, Laura was at all. She's like, all this time I've known you, and I didn't even know that piece of information. So I was wondering what that meant when he brought that up and why she kept on, expressing, wow, I didn't know you were in law school. I'm like, there has to be something as to why she keeps on mentioning this, you guys. So then what happens? What happens? Robert comes in, you guys, when they're thinking about acting DA and who's going to be appointed. The governor then appointed Robert, you guys. So I guess Robert is here to stay. And you know what? I am down for it. I don't know. I haven't heard any confirmations because I haven't really been on any Facebook chats as of lately because of everything that's been going on. I guess Robert is here to stay. Let me know in the comments below if the actor has signed a full-time contract with GH. I was not expecting that. I kind of figured when they forced him into retirement and he made it seem like he was going to be sticking around Port Charles for long, I kind of figured they would be bringing him back. So just let me know because I'm interested in knowing that. We have scenes with Maxie, Peter, and Lulu. And Lulu was just catching them up on the burglary story and, how her house got burglarized while she wasn't there. She was meeting with a complete man she didn't even know. He wasn't even her date, and so on and so on. And she ended up getting robbed, but then Dev ended up scaring the robber off. But then, she can't even fully be sure on that. She just taking Sonny's word for it on that. So, Maxie is not feeling this. She's like, look, we need to find Dante. We need to get Dante. And Peter's like, look, I don't want to have anything to do with this, pretty much. We need to stay out of it. Let Dante get the help he's needed. And Maxie's like, you clearly don't know Lulu because you haven't been around long enough to even figure her out. She is burying herself in work to get her mind off of her husband not being around. She's lonely, and Peter still wants to stay out of it, but he in the end caves in, is going to do what Maxie says do because he is in that new phase of being in a relationship and he wants to flourish in his relationship. Now, like I said in the past, you guys know how I feel about Maxie and Peter. I am not a Paxi fan, but today's scenes with them was kind of nice. I will say that. Peter basically was telling her how he never had a best friend, so he didn't know how to function and how best friends operate. And he was telling Maxie that, he's learning and Maxie is his best friend. And Maxie was like, oh. Now, I promise you guys I'm not warming up to this couple. Still, not ever. But I would definitely like them as best friends. Like, I feel like Peter would be a great friend to Maxie, and Maxie would be a good friend to him. The only thing is, we all know that Maxie can't be in a friend relationship with a man because she gets very jealous and overprotective. Look at how she was with Damian Spinelli. Anytime he looked at another nerdy girl, Maxie was just all in her feelings. She didn't want nobody talking to Spinelli, nothing. So we know she doesn't make a good friend, but I think Peter would definitely make a good friend to Maxie. And that's all I'm going to say about that. We have scenes today with Drew and Scout, you guys. I don't care what anybody says. I love these scenes today with Drew and Scout. I feel like they were beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You guys, Scout has caught Soros, I think that's how you say it. She has aged. She looked like she could have been at least 5. I'm not mad at it. She's pretty, and Drew was talking to her. He's wanting to engulf himself in his last living child. He wants to spend every bit of time he can with her because he didn't have that time with Oscar. That is completely understandable, and he wants to make sure that she never forgets her brother. And I am so down for that. These scenes were so sad and joyful at the same time because we don't always get to see the actors with their children. We always see them in other storylines, but we never see them spend time with their children. So it was good today to see Drew with Scout. I feel like he's a good dad. She was at work with him. He was happy, but at the same time sad because he didn't have his son there with him. Alexis shows up and she's like, look, business is not over. We need to talk to you and have a sit down for Oscar's will. And Drew is just amazed at how smart Oscar was. that he even thought this out and planned everything carefully. Because you guys have to remember, Oscar was a Quartermain, so he has money, he has stocks, ELQ stocks and everything, so he definitely need a will. And something tells me that Jocelyn is going to end up with some Quartermain stocks. I wouldn't be mad at it, you know. I haven't done a review in a little while, so I did want to touch on Dev and Joss, you guys. Dev and Joss, to me, I'm gonna try to cut this down and make it really short. Basically, I'm gonna say that I really like this couple. I see exactly where the writers are going with this. It's kind of like a love at first sight thing, but Jocelyn is very, very, very fed up with Dev. Like, she was fed up the moment she met him. I think that Dev is gonna help her, and it's gonna give her something to look forward to. You know, I feel like Jocelyn has a type because he kind of resembles Oscar. They don't look alike, but he resembles Oscar. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Dev is going to light a fire, a light in Jocelyn that's missing as of right now. She just doesn't know it. I definitely will do another video on my thoughts on Dev and Jocelyn. I hope you guys stay tuned and look out for that video. Also, you guys let me know in the comments below what you thought about today's episode. I also would like to know how you feeling about Robert being acting DA and Matt as the acting commissioner as of right now. Do you prefer Jordan as commissioner, or do you prefer Mac? Let me know in the comments below, and I guess I will see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned, like I said, for the next videos I upload, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
I finally made my mind, know that I can't go back broke. They saying that my time up, my back against the ropes. I hustle, got my grind, know that when I made the most. I had faith every night and I never lost no hope.